Good morning, guys. So we're out here at the beach. I don't know if we're gonna walk on the beach today, though, guys. It's looking kind of crazy. Guess the storms are causing this water to come up to the. Let me show you guys. It's like right there. It's never been this close, but I'm assuming we can kind of squeeze onto the sand over here. Hopefully these dogs won't come running after us. You know how they like to run up on me and Pinot when we out here. Look at how close this water is. You guys know it's Funny Friday story time. Funny Friday story time. So yeah, I talked about Maddie last week. Remember how we got Maddie Merlot? So this week we're talking about Pinot. And I was laughing because I was trying to think of the year, but I know that's not important. He's 5. Actually just turned 6. Maddie's 11 now. But yeah, so we got Pinot. This is the funny thing about it. So Taz was approaching, you know, graduation time. I think it was in his senior year. And I just had the weirdest, like, maternal instincts, like, grabbing at me. I've never had that in my life. Like, even before I had Taz, I never really thought about kids. I tell him that all the time. He cracks up. But yeah, I was never one of those people who wanted a bunch of kids and wanted to get married, blah, blah, blah. I never thought about that. But that maternal feeling, never had that either. But when he was getting ready to graduate and stuff, I just had this weird, like, I think it was his junior year. But anyway, started looking at puppies and stuff because I'm like, I ain't having no more babies. Y'all already know that. And I wasn't dating or anything. Plus, I just didn't want any more kids. But started doing research, right? And I was looking at what type of puppy I wanted. Decided on a Maltese and was doing a lot of research. And found this one lady who was a breeder. Man, she was trying to charge me like $3,000, $4,000. She wanted a deposit. And I wouldn't be able to get to see the puppy until the day I picked him up. Are you kidding me? That was a scam. You know, they were talking about how when they're born, they can't be around a lot of people because of germs and stuff. But I'm like, I'm not paying all that money and I can't see the puppy. So I squashed that whole thing. And then, like a month or so later, Taz and I went to visit my parents. My mom was still alive, obviously. And we all went out to breakfast one morning. And I told my parents how I had been feeling and I'm looking for a dog, and they were laughing at me. And they're like, you know, you'll be fine with Maddie. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. So we leave breakfast, y'all. And as we leave the restaurant, there's this pet store right behind the restaurant. We were behind the IHOP. And they had a sign in the door, and I'm in the window, and it said rescue today. So they were doing a rescue. And I was like, oh my God, we should go look. So we go in. Y'all, it was hilarious. It was so stinky and smelly and dirty. It was so funny, y'all. It was horrible in there. My mom literally walked in and walked right back out. She was like sick to her stomach, like, it stinks. And so, we're struggling today, y'all, because we're walking in this thick sand. Pinot's like, what's going on? So yeah, we go in. My mom pivots and leaves. She goes outside. Y'all, they had the nerve to have a scented candle in the window up front. That thing wasn't doing nothing. So my dad and I were up front looking at all the big dogs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's all they have is big dogs. I knew I didn't want a big dog. I don't do big dogs. So whew, Taz had been towards the back, and we didn't even know where he was. So as I'm going, and I'm like, hey, we could just leave. We're walking back there to get Taz, and you guys, I stumbled upon Pinot. He was so cute. He was the cutest little thing. And he was in the cage, this big old cage by himself. And he was way to the back of the cage, so you could hardly see him. But I saw he was so tiny, a little fluffy white ball. So I asked the lady to come get him out. He only weighed like 2 or 3 pounds at the time. He was so tiny and cute, y'all. And he was so playful. And I asked her about him. He was a Yorkie Terrier mix, Shih Tzu mix. And the neighbors, their 2 dogs made it, and they didn't want to keep Pinot. I don't know how many they ended up having, but they said they brought him because they couldn't do anything with him. So that was all I needed to hear. And we grabbed him up. So I was in Lake Wells, my hometown. My parents were tripping because they still had to charge me. I think it was like $500. It was ridiculous. Y'all know I paid $20 for Maddie, so that wasn't really a rescue. I'm sure they ripped me off. My dad was going crazy. He's like, I know you ain't been paid $500 for no dog. But he must have forgot I paid $1,000 for Maddie's surgery. But anyway, love Pinot. He's rounded our family out, y'all. He's so feisty and fun. Y'all know that. Y'all see that. But he's just amazing. Went to Walmart, and my parents came in with me While he was getting his chip put in, we ran to Walmart. And oh my God, y'all, we had so much fun picking out clothes for him. My parents were like, oh, get this. It's like a newborn baby. So yeah, then we picked him up, spent the whole day at my parents' house playing, and it was just so much fun. And the next day, hung out. I think we had a cookout or something that weekend. And then brought him to Jacksonville, y'all. When he met Maddie, it was hilarious. Maddie was like, what is going on? She was not ready for her brother or sister. And she was super spoiled. But I think about a week or so went by, and they finally got used to each other. She would come up and sniff him, and we were real careful to keep them separate. But eventually she would come up and like sniff him and kind of check him out. But he was all very playful with her from the very beginning because he was a baby. But yeah, now they're best friends. And I'm gonna show a video today. They were fighting in my bed this morning. They like to play fight. They're so cute. But yeah, that's our Pinot Grigio. And y'all know I've been sober 7 years, so I had to name him after alcohol as well. And I always say I always have wine in my house. Whew. But y'all have a good Friday, good weekend. And thanks for riding with me this week. Thanks for encouraging me right back. And we'll catch up with you guys later. Take care.